Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 4. If you want to see my reaction videos about the first episodes of this Season 3, about my entire binge watching, about the two first seasons, I'm gonna put some links into the eye just for you guys. And also, each time for these videos of The Mandalorian, I'm putting the links for the playlist also for Andor, for the Book of Boba Fett, but you know what I think about it, for Obi-Wan Kenobi, for all of the Star Wars shows that I reacted to. Okay, right there, new episode of The Mandalorian. I said it after the last one, really this episode 3 was my favorite one of this season so far. It was really a long episode now that I think about it, and now also that I know that this episode is gonna be like 25 minutes long, something like that. So in comparison, the episode 3 it was twice that. So really, the episode 3 they put a lot of things into it. We had two main narrative arcs during the episode 3. One about not really Mando, okay, Mando was present, but it was more about Bo Katan. I'm gonna come back to that later. And one about Dr. Pershing. And I'm not so sure that we're gonna see him again during this episode or really soon into this season. I think that they used also that part of the last episode, okay, to say stuff about Dr. Pershing, maybe also to introduce that new character, that girl who trapped him and all, and through her maybe to imply that something is going on, that we don't have news about Gideon, about that character, and the fact that we have rumors about it. Some are saying that he escaped, some are saying that he's in jail, some are saying that he was brainwashed. Something is going on with this character, with Moff Gideon. It disappeared, and I think that that part of the story of the last episode was there to tell us stuff about it, to introduce that new character, that female character. Little things about Dr. Pershing, but I don't think that it's gonna be a main character for the future episodes. But it was also more to say stuff about what is happening, what is happening for people who worked for the Empire, who were taken back by the New Republic. They are giving them a second chance, but it's a second chance, like you have a job, you have an house, cool, but the job that you're gonna do, we're gonna decide what you're gonna do. You don't have any way, to evolve with these jobs. You don't have anything, to say about it. It's not gonna be a job really fitting with what you want, with also maybe what you're good at. You have really to stay quiet about it, and they're gonna tempt you also, like right there, Dr. Pershing was really tempted to do something else, to do really what he wants to do. And we saw that he fought with that idea during some times, but at the end of it, he didn't resist, he accepted that offer, even if it meant to do something illegal. He went really further with that. So that way also, at the end of the last episode, I was a little, not conflicted, but I was seeing the two points of views of that trap that they made for him. It was a trap, they pushed him really hard to disobey, to fall into that trap, but at the same time, he fell into that trap. He didn't resist that much at the end. He did it. Maybe he could have been manipulated by bad people, to do that thing. He wanted to do something right, he had good ambitions with that, he had good reasons to do that, but his good reasons could have been used, manipulated by bad people. So, I'm not divided, with what happened, but I'm saying that the two point of views can be understandable. What I'm really against is the fact that at the end his punishment it was to be brainwashed, and they are hiding that behind no, it's not a brainwashing, we're not like the Empire. Still, you are doing stuff, you know, to his mind and all just for him to obey more to your orders. Brainwashing, really? Brainwashing, same word. So that was really interesting. I appreciated that part of the story. And yes, the other part of the story of the last episode was with Mando, but was not really about Mando in my opinion. It was more about Bo Katan and the fact that into the water she saw that creature that at first, you know, she didn't think that that creature existed, and she saw it. She saw also Mando going into these waters with his face, and she admired that. She stayed with her helmet during all of this time, so I think that she began to think about it, you know, already. The fact that she didn't take it off like she used to do so easily. I think that the girl was already thinking about it. So at the end, when they offered her, you know, to join them, I think that it was big, you know, also for her, for all of what she said about her family, about her people, the fact that they rejected her, the fact that she didn't find her place anywhere, the fact that she didn't believe, the fact, you know, all of that mixed into her head. I think that that offer at the end was really big for her. Oh, I'm sorry for the light. I'm gonna see at the end of the intro what I'm gonna do with it. I think that it was really important, big for her, because they're offering her a family, a community, to be a part of something, to be with her people. I think that she's gonna accept. Is she gonna succeed, you know, because it's not what she believes into. So, you know, that part, the religious part, is really important. So is she gonna manage to really succeed, to stay with them, to follow their religion? Is she gonna believe, you know, truly into all of the aspects of that community? We'll see that during the season. But yes, it was mostly about her. And you know, after the episode I was just like, that was so great that it was about her, I loved that story and all. Now that I had time to think about it, I'm a little, not annoyed, but maybe frustrated that it was not more about Mando, because we know how important it was for him to have that redemption. We know how big it was also for him, and because of the fact that it was mostly about her, maybe we forgot him, and maybe, you know, I had that impression that it was not fair. It was not fair that we considered more what it meant for Bo Katan and not enough what it meant for him, when in fact it's so important for him. And yes, it was a little frustration that I had, but maybe we're gonna have more about it during this episode, more about what it means for him, and also what is he gonna do now, because during the two first seasons we were focused on Grogu. Really, Grogu, only Grogu, saving him, keeping him, you know, protected and all. During this season, for me, the story is turning, you know, more about Mando, about his fate, about him accepting his fate. It's gonna be more about that. And for now, he was only focused on getting his redemption. Now that you added Mando, what are you gonna do? You know, with your life, with Grogu? Are you gonna stay with your community, your people, or are you gonna go on new adventure? What new adventures? Because you don't have any real purpose now, when you should, because you discovered that your planet, you can live on it, like, at least it's a possibility. And you know, all of the things around him, around his potential fate. For me, this season is gonna be about him accepting that. The rest of the seasons, it's gonna be about him making it, you know, truly, but first he has to accept it. He has to not just think about himself, about Grogu, about, you know, his little life. if we can say it like that. So I'm impatient to discover this new episode because I want to see what Mando is gonna do. I want to see more of Mando during this episode, and the last episode was so good. For sure this one, you know, it's a short one in comparison of the last one, so I don't think that we're gonna have the time to go deeper with stuff like we did during the episode 3. But the episode 3 was so great that I'm expecting the same quality, you know, the same level of quality. You know that for the episode 1 of the season 3, I had some doubts because some scenes were not necessary and I had the impression that they were making fan service stuff. It was not the case during the episode 2. Clearly the episode 3 was not a fan service for any moment because they were only focused on the story and that was so cool. So I want them to continue with that. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right there. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have these episodes earlier, one day earlier, and with an extended or full reaction part. I put only extended reaction part so far for this season of The Mandalorian, so you have to subscribe only to the level 2, and it's the best way to support me if you want, if you can. Let's go for this episode.
Next challenger.
But it's too little.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
No! It's too little!
Apprentice. You must learn. He challenges.
He is too small.
Time is ward. Proceed.
What weapon?
Let the challenge decide.
Darts. Bring the training darts.
But it's too little. Don't do that.
Why doesn't he wear a helmet?
He is too young to speak the creed, and so too young to wear a helmet.
Then he's too young to fight.
One does not speak unless one knows. Is that not the creed?
Well, I know.
Perhaps this lesson is for you then.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Ooh.
My dad was the same way. He's just proud of you.
Raise your fist to launch the darts. You'll be fine.
Begin. Point.
Look at him.
Begin. Point.
Grogu. I've seen what you can do. It's okay.
Okay, show them. Jump. Do your things. Come on. Yep. Now. Pew.
3 points. Winner.
Okay, you're not gonna make friends, but you're making your dad proud. Yeah. Okay.
I kept a high altitude and followed it to its lair. I know how to get there.
You're not taking him.
You are too young to join them.
He joined them on worse than that.
Come, Grogu. If you wish to become a Mandalorian, there is much work to attend to.
Oh, kill me now! He's way too sweet.
This is the Forge. It is the heart of Mandalorian culture. Just as we shaped the Mandalorian steel, we shape ourselves.
Are you gonna make him an armor?
All begin as raw ore.
He can't have an helmet, but maybe he can have an armor?
Define ourselves. The Forge can reveal
Yes.
weaknesses.
Yes, I think. Like he's being destroyed. No, bro, no. She's creating an armor for you. I'm sure of it. Oh, Grogu? Oh, Grogu! That's how... Oh my dear! discovering that now, you know, like, coming from nowhere. They can't do that, they can't do that! Boom!
Don't worry. We're gonna meet up with some friends of mine. But hold on. It's gonna be a bumpy landing.
Okay, he's alright. We know that he's alright! We saw... how he's gonna evolve.
Take it, get sealed and ready to go. Come on.
Everyone doing all of that for you, really. For sure it's gonna give you, I mean, it gave you PTSD, you know? You're not a baby anymore. You know how to defend yourself now.
It is a tradition in our culture for each to donate a small portion of what they earn to the Foundling. With these scraps of Beskar that I forged your next piece of armor. Mandalorian steel shall keep you safe as you grow stronger. You will grow into this rondel as you grow into your station. Foundling Grogu.
Oh, your daddy's gonna be so proud! Oh no! I'm sorry, I know that I'm maybe a little too much like that, but... Oh, so cute! Ah, this memory, it was unexpected, like...
We'll continue on foot from here. Any closer and it will hear the ship.
The fact that this guy with his team is following them into this mission, that's important because we saw how he reacted when they were accepted back, you know, into the community.
It's not here. Let's find the kid.
I see a heat source there.
Wait until we clear the area.
He's my son.
Is? You never mentioned that? Ragnar? I sound of Vikings, maybe. Babies. Yeah. He's alive. You. Okay, that is out. Out and safe. Maybe hurt, but safe. Right now. Good job. Thanks for that. Pretty useful.
I'm okay.
Thank you. This is the way. This is the way.
I said it, we needed him on this mission, so you're not gonna be that mean, you know, with our guys anymore. And even more now that we know that you have a son. Yep. Ah!
You have done the highest honor of the creed, saving a foundling. This is the way. This is the way.
Oh, for her to say that. You took the babies! Yes, without their mother, they wouldn't survive. You're gonna train them all.
Shall I inlay the signet of the night owl? mythosaur. The mythosaur belongs to all Mandalorians. What would you say if I told you I saw one? That you saw what? A mythosaur. I would say you're very lucky. It is a noble vision. I mean a real one. When you choose to walk the way of the Mandalore, you will see many things. But it was real. This is the way.
Ding. Cool, really cool. It was, you know, an episode between big episodes, clearly. Not only because it was a short one, but also for the stories that we had into it. It was not really stories which were important, it was more stories which were created for the characters, to do things with and for the characters, clearly. I'm gonna repeat a little what I said during the intro. It was great, I appreciated everything, and I'm gonna talk more about what this episode meant for Grogu, for Bo Katan and all. But the fact is that we didn't have a lot about Mando. This show is named The Mandalorian, so I want stuff about him, and also, I said it, the two first seasons were mostly, almost only about Grogu, saving him, protecting him. So now I want stuff about Mando, his fate, accepting his fate, his planet, his people, all of that. So to have now two episodes which were not about him, or at least something about him, I'm not mad and I'm not sad and I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm a little frustrated because of it. Because he's there without being really there. Like again, during the episode 3, all of the redemption thing should have been mostly about him, because we know how important it is for Mando, and in fact it was mostly about Bo Katan. And right there, you know what happened during this episode? It was mostly about Grogu and Bo Katan. Mando, maybe a little thing, you know, with the fact that he connected with the other guy, you know, because of the dad and son relationship, and you know, something about it, but it was really short, you know, in comparison of the rest. So yes, it's just to say that it's good episodes, I love them. We are really, really far from the Book of Boba Fett, and the fact that they did that during the entire season. We are really far from that, but a little frustration about it. Okay, let's begin with Bo Katan. It's the easiest part in a way. She's right there with this community, she's seeing them training, she appreciates that. She wants, you know, on that mission to save one of the Foundlings. Because of that, you know, like, she's truly a part of the group and she's respecting all of the things. You know what I said during the intro? I think that to be a part of a community, to be accepted like that by our people, it means a lot for her. But can she succeed, you know, to stay with them, to respect all of their rules, and to believe, you know, like, it's really a faith, a religious thing? We'll see about it. And during this episode, we saw that she wants to respect it. She's keeping her helmet on, you know, and she's respecting what is going on with that. She's going with her people to save one of the Foundlings. She's respecting also the way that they talk with this is the way and all. So all of that, she's respecting stuff. So that's cool. That armor thing, you know, that's really cool, because she's saying to someone that she saw that creature and no one is mocking her during that moment, and now she has two things on her, you know, and it can be like two parts of her story. It can represent, you know, the two lives that she's gonna have. One that she had and one that she wants to have. Do you understand what I mean? So that's cool. All of that mission about saving that boy, why not? You know, I'm not against it. For me, it was important, in fact, for that guy to not be mean with Mando and Bo Katan anymore, to accept them. They saved your kid, Ragnar. the fact that he's named Ragnar. You lost me during some seconds, you know, I was into Vikings. No matter what, they saved him, so normally that's gonna be okay with the guy for the rest of the season of the show. And the second part of this episode was about Grogu. First, Grogu training, really? Like my little brother, like, you know, for me, Grogu, he is like 6 years old, you know, he's so little, and also seeing him like ready to fight and all, I was like, no, he's too young, he's too little, you're insane. For sure, I need to be like, okay, this kid, it's a kid now, it's not a baby anymore. I said it also after the first episodes, we saw that he evolves, like he's not doing bad stuff, you know, taking risks, he's obeying to Mando, so he's a kid now, he's not a baby anymore, but still, but I was proud of him. The fact that Bo Katan said into the same sentences, your dad is proud of you, all of that, oh, I loved it so much, that was so great. After that, he stayed and she made him an armor. I knew that it would come, I mean, an armor, a part of an armor. So cool, so cool. I would have loved for him to discover that during this episode, but it was not the case. And for sure, we had that big memory and, oh, I'm sorry, my neighbor is doing stuff into his garden, like, I'm not gonna wait for him to finish, just to finish this review, so I'm sorry if at some point, you know, during this review it's a little disturbing for the noise. I can't change that, you know, I can't scream to him, you have to stop, I'm filming! No, I can't do that. So I was saying, that memory, it was unexpected to have it, you know, right there, right now, into a short episode, also like, truly unexpected. The fact that it's coming like a PTSD thing for Grogu, I'm sad, you know, and I don't know if it's gonna have consequences for the rest at some point, maybe, like, we'll see about it. To discover it, that was really interesting, but that was also really intense. He saw, you know, as a baby, all of these persons who were there to save him, to protect him, who wanted to do things good, you know, around him. And that's something, you know, for a kid to know all of that, to have all of these memories and what we know about his life after that, like, it's important. I think that it's truly important for Mando, for what he's gonna do, how he's gonna evolve and all. The fact that he remembers that right now, again, it was during a PTSD moment, like, he had memories about it with the lights, with the sounds, all of that. But the fact that he didn't remember it during the 2 first seasons, it really means also that he's growing up, like he's not a baby anymore, he has these flashbacks and it's gonna mean stuff for him. The fact that during this episode they insisted again with some lines about the fact that he's not talking and at some point he's gonna talk, and when he's gonna talk he's gonna make, you know, all of the ceremony and all of that, about the creed, about wearing the helmet. Again, I feel, you know, that this season is gonna end, you know, the final episode, Grogu is gonna talk. Grogu is gonna say at least, you know, his first words. I cannot wait to hear his voice and also to see what is gonna be his first word. For me, it's gonna be related to Mando, like, I would love for that first word to be dad, but maybe it's gonna be something like help me or thank you, or, you know, maybe something more like that. But it's gonna be great, it's gonna be so great. And again, I think that during each episode of this season so far, they are talking about it, the fact that he's not talking yet. He's gonna talk during this season, okay? They are making almost an entire narrative arc about it. So cool. So yes, a short episode, but a good one. That memory which was unexpected, with things about Grogu which were really important, with things about Bo Katan which were not so important, but which are showing, you know, that she's continuing that path, you know, she's taking really that direction of staying with the creed, so that's great. I would have loved things about Mando, maybe for the rest of the season. And again, I'm not saying that like I'm mad about it and I consider that as a real big default. Like, we're really, really far from the Book of Boba Fett and what they did with Boba Fett into the Book of Boba Fett. He was not there, he was not present during at least 4 episodes of his own show. But again, we're really far from that, but yes, a little frustration about it. Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right now. Remember that if you want the extended reaction part of this video, you have my Patreon for that. And yes, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Great.